everyone. Welcome back to Who Would Win? The week Who Would Win. From XV Stories, we ask the question, who wins the battle of the silver-haired slash white-haired specialized senseis in anime? Satoru Gojo versus Kakashi Hatake. This really comes down to a battle of hacks versus hacks, more or less. Who has the better hacks? Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is not an easy fight for either of these guys. And Satoru Gojo obviously was like one of the strongest character in JJK for the longest time until he died. Spoilers, but that's been knowledge for a long time. But he was still one of the most. He was a master of hand-to-hand combat. Had immense curse energy, which you could manipulate with his 6 eyes. His main techniques were the ability to use Lapse Blue, which essentially was an attraction technique, pulled everything inward towards the attack. Kind of weirdly enough how like Chibaku Tensei works. But it was also Lapse Red, which basically did the opposite. It was a more offensive version of that. And then Lapse Purple, mixing blue and red together, basically allowed him to reduce any target to 0. Like there was no coming back from it. And his domain expansion, what was it? I believe it was like Unlimited Void or something like that, or Infinite Void. Essentially just overwhelmed your senses with infinite information. You literally just seized up. You couldn't do a damn thing. So he was exceptionally powerful. But Kakashi is no slouch. Kakashi is also a master of hand-to-hand combat. He's copied over 1,000 ninjutsu, including making some of his own as well. He has summoning animals. He has substitution jutsus. He's got clone jutsus, a master of the elements. He has actually all 5 elemental releases. And particularly, he has the Chidori. If we are allowing Kakashi to have like his max kit, he would also have not just Kamui, but DMS Kakashi also had a Kamui Susanoo, which was busted. So, but if we're looking at, say, like later Kakashi, where he was Hokage, he didn't have that. He had access to every one of his other jutsus, especially all the ones he copied, but he didn't have that. Like I said, this is hacks versus hacks. And real simple, it comes down to, can Kakashi get through Infinity before Gojo is able to use his domain expansion? Also, is Gojo even capable of surviving things like Genjutsu? Excuse me. Because his 6 eyes allows him to refresh himself from the negative effects of others and even heal himself with curse energy. So I do wonder if Genjutsu would in fact work on Gojo. And sorry, my dog just wants out real quick. You want to go outside, Papa? There we go. There you go. It's a nice day out. I'll leave the door open. It's a nice day out. But yeah, I'd have to say it'd have to be something a Genjutsu so powerful he wouldn't know he's under it, like a Koto Gatsukame or Sukeyome, something like that. A base Sharingan Genjutsu, I feel like he could get out of that without really that much difficulty, if I'm being honest. As long as he's like using, again, 6 eyes to refresh everything about him. So, can he get through Infinity? Because Infinity literally has a space of infinity between him and his opponent, which means it looks like you're slowing down. But it's just like, nope, you're just going through the infinite space. And then eventually it looks like you're stopped, but it's just, again, it's infinite space between you. And unfortunately, in Kakashi's kit, if we're taking Genjutsu out of the equation, there's really not much that could get through Infinity. Except for the Kamui. The Kamui is probably the only thing that could get through Infinity, because the Infinity is a space around him, but it's a space that in theory could be stripped off him. Kamui could do that, or he could literally summon Kamui, warp space around him, absorb the Infinity and him as well into there. And if we're giving him Kamui Susanoo, well, Gojo can't do a damn thing against that. But we also got to consider Gojo's side of the fight. Is he going to be able to get Sadie his either Lapse Purple or Infinite Void off? He'd have to be in a real bite. Like, the only way for, I think, Gojo to feel warranted in using Infinite Void is to basically go up against Kakashi's best moves like Kamui or something like that and be able to survive it. Now, both these guys have a lot of experience, like dealing with fighting, dealing with individuals. But Kakashi actually lived through 2 wars, if I'm not mistaken. And he was a major player in both of those wars. Uh, he has killed, quite frankly, far more than Gojo has. So he's probably a lot more willing to do it. But it also depends on if he tries to use Infinite Void, if Kakashi is able to use a substitution quick enough to get out of there. For example, if he catches him, say, with one of his elemental clones, Kakashi, I think, can then come in, take the win, because Infinity is not constantly active. Like, Gojo usually has it active, but if he's focusing on other things, it won't always be active. So Kakashi, in theory, could come in with a lightning blade, stick him through the chest, take out his heart, all that, and then that's all she wrote. If it's an elemental clone or something where Kakashi uses substitutes with it along. But if it's a shadow clone, which the experiences of the shadow clone go towards the user as well after they dissipate, well, the question isn't will the clone pop? It's how much infinite information is going to be poured into Kakashi through the clone. So a shadow clone wouldn't be good. His fighting this last blue and last red and then purple, it reminds me a bit of it's very similar to the Paths of Pain, the Deva Path. And because we saw how he fought against the Deva Path, it could go bad for him. But Satoru Gojo's moves are different in terms of how they're presented than Pain's are. So, in that sense, Kakashi could avoid them given enough tactics and time. It's a tricky fight. It really is, because either one of these guys could take the win theoretically. But if you're gonna put my feet to the fire on this, and we're giving Kakashi everything, Kamui, all that. If you're putting my feet to the fire on this, Kakashi has enough. And they both are great tacticians, but Kakashi has literally fought in wars multiple times over. I think he's the better. I would call him probably the better tactician, and he just has a much larger kit at his disposal to, at very minimum, keep Gojo on his toes until he can get an actual kill in with Kamui or Kamui Sasano, whatever we were saying here. And the problem is, the only way I see Gojo using Unlimited Void is it Infinite Void or Unlimited Void? Either way, I think it's Unlimited Void. Unlimited Void, the only way I see him actually wanting to use it, because that's a last-ditch effort kind of thing, is using it in a way, is using it as like a last resort after the Sasano or the original Kamui comes out. And at that point, Kakashi, seeing something's going on, might say, I need to get out of this now. Because he's got great senses when it comes to that. And ultimately nopes out of there before the actual Unlimited Void hits him for everything it's worth. And at that point, he comes in and just puts his arm through him and all that. It would be tight. This would be a tight fight. I will lean towards Kakashi, though. Again, he's got the better bag. He's got something to get. He does have a couple things to tackle Infinity with. He's frankly just has more overall combat experience, if we're really being honest. If we're talking about like his entire life's combat. Whereas, yeah, Gojo certainly fought a lot of cursed spirits, sure, and other sorcerers as well. But he's not having to fight. Like, his day-to-day life, as far as I know, wasn't killing all that for the sake of it, for survival. It was more just like, oh, things are bad. He's kind of almost like a spoiled child isn't the right word. He comes from a noble house, I think, or something like that. I haven't watched JJK or read JJK. I probably should. I know my girlfriend showed some interest in it, so I'll probably get to it at some point. And their mentality and how they approach the fight would probably be very different, because Gojo's also notoriously cocky, too. So, yeah, that'd be my thoughts, though. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.